If you were asked who you think the best Minecraft player was, there's a high chance you'll say someone like HissY, Dream, or Vixios, Manhunt creators who are popular and well known. But if we want to find who the best really is, we need to find a wider variety of creators. Those who make skill-based Minecraft videos, of course. Saying that Dream or HissY are the best isn't exactly wrong, it's just biased towards them. They are skilled players, but because they're popular, we consider them to be the best. We are all biased to those who are the biggest and greatest. If we want to find who the best really is, we need to think logically. But what if I told you that the best player actually doesn't exist? This is some impressive parkour, and this is some very skilled PvP. Can we consider these players to be skilled? Well, yeah, but not the best. Purely because this is only one of the many aspects of Minecraft, Manhunt. It's one of the only Minecraft game modes that includes all these skills together, and can also be considered its own skill, due to its requirements of quick thinking. Here's why. In a Manhunt, the speedrunner is required to adapt to certain situations, whether that means a change in terrain, food and resources, or how the hunters are playing, and what they are using. When the speedrunner is being chased, they will usually decide in situations to either tower, bridge, dig into a wall, or keep running. If we are under the assumption that the speedrunner's reactions to these situations determines their Manhunt skill, how do we measure it? Well, we actually can't. If we were to compare someone's Minecraft skill or Manhunt skill to someone else's, we'd need certain variables to be the same, such as the way the hunter plays, the terrain, and need to be under the impression that the gameplay is legitimate. What's really important to note is that if we are finding who the best Minecraft player is, we can actually only look at those who do Manhunt. Before you get mad, hear me out. A skilled PvPer or bridger has no relation to other skills, whereas in Manhunt and speedrunning in general, you basically need all these skills topped off with good thinking to be considered the best. Not everything you see on the internet is true. That also applies with skill-based Minecraft and Manhunt. You see speedrun videos ranging from 20 minutes to an hour, but we all know that these are heavily cut down. You don't see a lot, such as the times the speedrunner dies or has a bad run at the beginning, which is scrapped altogether, or even the parts where a Manhunter requires a bit of slack from the hunters in order to stay alive. You also don't see the parts where the Manhunter dies altogether in the middle of a Manhunt video. It would be a waste of content to restart after some cool clutches and plays, right? We can't determine who the best is based off YouTube videos. We need to see it live and clear, with controlled variables. I'm not saying that the people who make Manhunts or speedrun aren't legitimate. A creator simply needs to create a good video, of course. Are Dream's Manhunt staged? Probably not. The clutches and plays you see are within one recording out of potentially hundreds. If a Manhunt player does an insane clutch or play, that doesn't necessarily mean they are skilled, because they could have tried that same clutch many times in previous recordings. There's obviously other aspects of Minecraft, such as building and redstone, but if you think about it, even though these skills are quite impressive, they don't have as much as an impact on the rest of the game. With parkour, your ability to speedrun's better, your ability to PvP is even better. Certain aspects of Minecraft help out other aspects of Minecraft, but building and redstone don't really have an impact. I definitely respect the builders and redstone people out there, but in terms of Minecraft skill, that's an entirely different category. I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. 90% of Manhunt creators today stage their Manhunts. This term does vary depending on the person, and we can say that parts of a video are staged whereas others aren't. My definition of staging a Manhunt, or parts of it, is this: where scenes are pre-planned in a way that defies the basic principles of Manhunt, and the outcome of the scene is already set. These principles are A, the hunters are actually trying to kill the speedrunner, or if they do, they win, and B, the resources gathered for a type of scene are legitimately acquired. No commands, no mods. Although, if someone doesn't stage in a sense, that doesn't necessarily mean they are legitimate. For example, if the speedrunner dies before the video is long enough, but not short enough for them to restart, the speedrunner continues running as if nothing occurred. It has taken me a while to realize this, but that does make a Manhunt fake, which narrows down the percentage of Manhunt creators who are legitimate to probably 1 to 2%. Although this is the case, it doesn't mean that a skilled Manhunt player needs to be fully legitimate, because we can still see their skill and reaction-based thinking in any footage that is not staged. I said before that the recordings where the speedrunner dies at the beginning of the Manhunt, or simply screws up the seed, can bring their skill down, because people only seem to count what they see. But these failed recordings can in fact bring them up too, as there can be parts where they make a smart decision that reflect on their skill, only for them to be killed soon after. Even if a Manhunt player or unprofessional speedrunner stages their content, that doesn't mean they're bad, necessarily. It just brings them down in the sense that they can't create a good video without staging at least a few scenes. Of course, a good video is subjective, but I'll leave that for you to discuss. I'll be honest, the best player can't just be no one. It's always fun to compare those who are quite skilled to one another. To choose those who are skilled, they have to be known. This ties in with one thing: credibility. We need to already have an idea of their skill before testing their skill full on, which I will discuss shortly. To date, there's about 141 million Minecraft players, and we kinda can't test all of them, which is why certain statistics can be useful to choose the best players. PvP legacy statistics, Minecraft Manhunt statistics, and any other form of stats on different servers that reflects on someone's skill. Can you measure a Minecraft player's skill and compare them to someone else at least? Well, as I said before, you need certain variables to be controlled, as some people may get lucky and find some OP chests in their run. Then for Manhunt, there's the hunters. The hunters have majority of the control of how a manhunt will turn out, depending on the pressure they put on the speedrunner to kill them, or just the way they play in general. Actually, what would the best way be to measure a Minecraft player's skill and compare them to someone else? First, we need to make sure that the game mode is Manhunt, because that reflects on the player's skill in its purest form, of course. What we would most likely do is give two speedrunners the exact same seed and put them into a position where they have to speedrun the game. We'll have two hunters go up against these speedrunners and test the speedrunner's skill at evading the hunters and how they play against them. When we see how two people play side by side, we can compare them both in different aspects, such as decision-making skills, PvP, parkour, and general Manhunt skill. This would probably be the most effective way to measure someone's skill, and then we'd give them a score out of 100 towards the end of it. There are tournaments made to decide who the best manhunter is, with Flash Z's actually being quite well made, being designed to test a player's thinking and strategizing skills within an enclosed area. But we still need to incorporate PvP and the utilization of resources and tools, so this still doesn't give us an accurate representation of the best player. So why doesn't the best player actually exist? Well, in simple terms, it's just an insanely complex title, and we don't have a proper system to measure the best. We clearly can't rely on videos because they're just entertainment in the long run. And then there's the fact that there's a lot of different Minecraft skills. Can we measure a Minecraft player's overall skill? No. At least, not for now.